You are tuned in to GotBettaBeats.com. Exclusive artist interviews.
Got better beats.
Oh yeah. So you know what I'm saying. What I mainly want to talk about is just some basic stuff because I want a lot more people to actually get to know who CopyRyte is because the time I had working with you, you know what I'm saying. I know that you work hard. You actually think about you actually more than a rapper in my eyes. It seems like you actually strategically market your stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like I've seen you actually have artwork before you have the song done. And a lot of people need to know about the work ethic, you know what I'm saying? So I think that you'll be able to actually show a lot of people certain ways to actually, look at music a different way and actually earn from it.
Yeah, well, I mean, what it is, first off, the normal basic artist that, first you gotta really look into the music industry, see what they do, because when it comes to dropping, let's say if you want to drop a single, it's best to go ahead and have your visuals ready because that's what's going to market it. People are going to want to look at it and say, oh, what does he have coming out? Because most artists will go in the studio, record it, quality might not even be there, and then they just drop it straight to SoundCloud. And that's not a way to market yourself. It's all about how you market. And it's best to build up like a hype. Once you build up a hype for a track, people are waiting. You might be able to do a snippet, put a little video together and do a snippet. Because I think when I did Stuck in My Ways with You, what was it? I think I waited about a good month before I dropped it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it actually built up a hype for it, and that's been my number one played song. I actually had it playing in Toronto, so people are just so used to seeing, I guess, the famous artists. It's okay for famous artists and mainstream artists to drop a single, hands down, without even any promo with it, because they're already there. But artists like myself, being underground, we have to build something for people to look forward to. If they have nothing to look forward to, then they're just like, oh, well, there's another song he dropped.
Exactly. And a lot of times now we in that excuse me, we in that show me stage of music right now. Like because it's not like it used to be, because if you were talented back in the days, it was like you were a diamond in the rough. But now it seems like so many people are tapping into their talents and really being creative with it. You really have to go the extra mile. So if you have your artwork and you have real good quality, you know what I'm saying, and you carry yourself as an artist, you'll be looked at differently from the people who just know how to rap. Because it's a lot of people that's just in the hood that they know how to rap, but they're not willing to take it to the next level. They don't really believe that they can go to the next level.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and the problem with that is that the trap scene has taken that over. What it is, they don't want to be different. They think being different is such a bad thing. But it's not. I mean, whose video did I watch today? I watched Logic's new video, Black Spider-Man. And I swear, I think I might even talk to you about it. He did a music video with just random people in it, but then he had choreography going with it. That was something I've always wanted to do, because hip-hop, even the videos aren't the same anymore. All you see is cars, they're at the club, they're drinking, they're smoking. He went the extra mile and did a video actually on Broadway. He did the video on a Broadway set and did choreography with like a big multicultural, different type of people.
Oh, yeah.
So, I mean, and that's the attention that I like. It's just everybody's so stuck in this trap stage to where they think, oh, the only thing that's right is if I'm smoking in the video, or if I have a gun and I'm pointing it at the camera, or whatever the case may be. Everybody's creativity has been lost. But there's certain people out there like Karen Benton, that's in Decatur, great artist. He did a video called Schizo. And it was a little bizarre, but he went that extra mile to make the song what it was meant to be called, Schizo.
Exactly. I mean,
crazy.
Yeah, because when you actually put more thought into your stuff, people can actually look at it different. It's not the same thing. And a lot of people, and that's where you get the optimistic people. That's what I call them. Because I actually like to look at things different. I look at what everybody else is doing, and I try to do something different. because I'm not, you know, like when something becomes tradition, I like to break the tradition. It just doesn't feel right doing the exact same thing as other people, you know, like, and like you said, like everybody, all they doing now is just recording, and like a lot of people freestyling, and you can tell now. It's like even some of the mainstream artists, it's no lyrics the way it used to be. It's not a story like it used to be. Like, you know, I listen to some of the artists these days, and some of the beats are good, but like they go from so many different subjects to where you really can't say what the song is about. You know, like, and it's just, I mean, it's just different. I mean, it has its place, but you know, with me, I like music that is gonna paint a picture for me. You know, like whether even if it's a club song, it has to paint a picture for me. I have to kind of understand. I have to be able to identify what the artist was talking about. You know, like it makes me think about something. But some of the music now doesn't make you think about anything. It just makes you say, oh man, that's a nice beat, or you know, or make you change the station. Honestly.
Yeah. What do they call mumble rappers?
Yeah.
Mumblers.
Yeah. If I can't even understand what you're saying, yeah. I mean, it's no point. Yeah.
That was like there was an interview I watched recently that was with the Migos. No disrespect to them, they're doing their thing, but every time they answer something, they answered it with an ad-lib. I was like,
yeah,
so I mean, it's like I said, it's just. But I think, you know, soon everything's gonna change, because the fact that, you know, I heard recently when Kendrick's new album came out, he outsold Drake. And to me, that was almost like a prayer answer. No, Drake's a good artist, but it's things are slowly kind of, he's going a different route now than what he used to be.
Pop.
Like he's more pop, but they still consider him hip hop. But seeing Kendrick take over that and win that over, I think it's a good start for hip hop to start off fresh again.
Yeah, and I mean, and that's why, you know, you have to dare to be different, man, because that's what's gonna make you stand out, and that's what's actually gonna make people remember who you are, instead of you just being in the pool of doing the same thing with millions of people. You as one person will stand out, you know. But I guess, but you know, before we get too far, I actually want everybody to know how did you come up with the name CopyRyte? Because you know that's a powerful name when you're dealing with music.
Yeah, actually, I just discussed it with an artist last night, because I have recently I just got an artist coming under my wing. Asked him about his name, and he asked about mine. And what it is, when you copyright something, when you want to copyright anything, that's your unique idea. You know, you want to make sure that is yours and nobody else's. So when you copyright something, that's basically saying it's mine. It's mine. Nobody can take that from me. I am my own general idea. Like, I can be who I want to be. I don't have to conform to being a trap artist. I don't have to conform to being lyrical all the time. I can go any direction. I'm so versatile.
Yeah.
That's how I came up with the name, because I can do as I please. That's really how I look at it. And some of the stuff in the bar structures that I create, lyrically, how I scheme stuff, it's crazy. You know, I did the like some people don't even understand when I write bars. They don't understand stuff like I did that freestyle recently, No Favors by Big Sean and M.
Yeah.
People don't understand when I say stuff, because I said, but the hype is like ISIS divided with pilots and riots with blind suicides, but this is the type of shit that I die for. So I guess I'm trying to say I'm the flyest. Some people didn't understand, and I kind of had to break it down for them.
Yeah, but they
were like, that went over my head.
Yeah, and that's what a lyricist to me is. A lyricist is somebody that's actually going to make me think about something, and you be like, man, that's crazy that he actually thought about that, or he actually used this phrase, you know, to describe this, you know, just like Tupac when he was saying like me and my girlfriend, he was actually talking about the gun, you know. and it's and even though he was talking about the gun, it's still 1,000 ways to think about that. You know, like he was saying, okay, maybe the gun is like the only person that he was able to trust. You know, like so to speak, like because the gun is actually going to do anything he asked it to do, and you know what I'm saying, if he pulled the trigger, I mean, so it's just, you know. I think as an artist, your rhyme should be decoded, you know, and I think people should ask you what you meant by something, because if you're so transparent, how good are your lyrics? You know, how good are your metaphors? Yeah,
and that's what makes an artist like who they are. Like you can define like any trap artist. You just say, oh, they're a trap artist. That's it. They're all the same. They all sound the same. I mean, Snoop Dogg even said it recently. They all sound the same. But when it comes to lyricists, we're in such a different category because we actually brand ourselves that way. And when you brand yourself a certain way, when you want to name yourself a lyricist, either people respect you to they kind of scale you from like a 1 to 10. Yeah. Like they're like, they're okay. The punchlines aren't that strong, but they're okay. But then you got some people that they stand out. And that's like in Brunswick. They love me and they respect me, but it's just the fact that I don't do the type of music they like.
Yeah.
I don't get as much as a fan base here, but everywhere else, which is fine with me. I get love in New York. I get love in Cali. I get love overseas, especially in Canada.
Yeah.
You know, in a different country. And that's what's okay with it. I'm okay with that. You know, there's so much more than just the city that you reside in. There's so much more out there.
And it's the same. I think it's the same thing in your hometown. You know, like my thing is, like they gonna feel the way they feel until they feel like you deserve that you know, that aura. Like, you know, like let's say somebody big on TV, like let's say the Migos gave you a shout out, or you know what I'm saying, they saw you in the Migos video with the Migos. Oh, now like all the people that, you know what I'm saying, they gonna come out the woodworks and, oh man, you know what I'm saying, I've been telling people about you, this you know, but you know that's how it is. And so what inspired you to start doing music? Because, you know, I think a lot of people don't realize, but I actually met you before, you know, I knew you, and before you actually were recording with me or anything like that. And, you know, but I, you know what I'm saying, I never knew that you rapped, you know, and I was actually, and when I heard you, like from the time when, you know what I'm saying, I actually met you, and then when I heard you, I was blown away, you know what I'm saying, because I didn't expect you to come the way you were coming, you know what I'm saying, and you actually were coming as a feature on somebody else's track, so that was, you know, that was crazy. So I wonder what inspired you to start doing music, and what inspired you to have, you know, like to have the energy and everything that you have when you do your songs.
Well, when it comes to hip hop, I started listening to hip hop at a very young age, and it's so funny because actually before I started doing hip hop music, writing lyrics for hip hop, I was actually in a rock band. It was the craziest thing. I grew up in a rock band called Last Days of Fear. And I just wasn't feeling it. I was like, man, I can write stuff, but to them, they're like, what are you talking about? And it just didn't fit in a rock band. They were like, we're supposed to talk about different things than that. Like, I don't know what you're trying to get at. And I was like, this isn't working out for me. And then what really pushed me to start writing, it was almost like poetry at first, or just spoken word. My mom passed away in 2007 in April, and I had to go forced to live with my dad, and I was like, great, I don't even know him like this, we don't get along, he don't get along with anybody at all anyway, so it's that much harder. And I just started listening to beats and stuff. I think the very first track I recorded, I just had my computer set up and I bought a little microphone that you like, it was back in the 07, you didn't have all this new stuff like we have for microphones. So for a computer, I just had this little microphone that you buy for like $8, and I sat it next to the speaker on the computer, and I think I wrote to One Blood by The Game, and it was about my mom. And I was like, you know, with some practice, maybe this doesn't sound good. So you put it in the CD player in the car. Of course, there's no bass because I had the microphone next to the speaker. I was like, okay, I can work with that. And then throughout the years, I didn't really take my music serious until I was 22, 2012. And bridging from there, somebody said, "Oh man, you're actually pretty dope." And I was like, "Oh, I appreciate that." And I was a feature, like you said, I was a feature on somebody's track.
Yeah.
And so then I met Trick the Don, who was like one of the main engineers in the area at the time. And so I was like, "Hey man, you know, I got some other beats. I want to come through and lay some stuff down." And so he said, "All right, well, come through," you know. So I did, and I started laying stuff down. And then I had my first show, which was to be one of the headliners for Pastor Troy. I was nervous as can be, because it was packed. It was packed that night. Oh, yeah. And I ended up drinking too much because I was nervous. And the beat came on, and I was like, I forgot my words. Oh, no. But then it just came to me. And I had this flow. Everybody knows me sometimes for a flow that just, I can spit fast. And they were like, "That's Cam from Brunswick High?
Oh, yeah.
He's making middle school? Like, what happened?"
Yeah, I'm telling you, I was blown away when I first heard it, and that's not an understatement of me trying to hype it up. Like, when I first heard you, I didn't know what to expect, but you know what I heard was beyond my expectation. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I appreciate that. You know, because like everybody, like it's like the more sometimes artists they kind of tend to fall off after a while, but every year it seems like mine just grows rapidly. It's like a wildfire, because every year I write something different. And now that I'm being a lot more open-minded to stuff, like when I came and recorded Only If She Knew With You, that was something different to me. It was more jazzy, like a J. Cole type thing.
Yeah. And
it was for independent women. But it was in the aspects of looking from my point of view at an independent woman. Like, I've seen her grow up through the years, and I don't even know sometimes when I come up with this stuff. It just kind of dawns on me.
Well, that's the gift, like a lot of people don't realize that's the gift, because the gift is where we actually don't know where it comes from, but we put it together the best way that we hear it in our minds, and when other people love it, I mean, we don't know exactly where it comes from, but I mean, I'm gonna just keep on putting it on, on this music, and hopefully you keep on buying it and come, support me and everything like that. But that's the gift, man. Like, because there's plenty of songs that I've wrote, and recorded, and it was like so easy. It wasn't like no effort. And then some other songs are like, I have to put so much effort in it to try to get it to sound how I want to sound. So, I mean, but what I'm saying, you already know your hit songs, they seem like they come so natural and so easy.
Yeah, and it's crazy because, I mean, just like right now I'm struggling. I have a major feature I have on my hands, and I'm struggling because I'm like, I want this to be a radio single, especially with a major artist feature. I want it to be something that can be on the radio, people can jam to it. But when it comes to lyrical stuff, they're not going to play it on the radio. We know how that goes.
Yeah.
I mean, we barely hear, I think the most lyrical person on the radio, in the past year is either J. Cole or Kendrick, and they barely play them on the radio. Like, Kendrick's whole new album has all this great stuff, but the song they chose to be on the radio was Be Humble.
Yeah.
That has the most cursing in it, and sometimes it doesn't make sense for what he says. I mean, it makes sense, but it's just the aspect of, like coming from me growing up listening to Nas on the radio, and then now I'm listening to all this stuff about whipping in the kitchen and stuff. So, I mean, that's what it's all about.
It's crazy to see how music does go, because actually, even me as a singer, like, I used to listen to Nas. Like, I love Nas to this day. I think the first CD that I actually bought of his was Stillmatic. You know what I'm saying? And it was like, I'm talking about, it was like I could listen to all the songs on there, like, and like, just, every CD after that, like, I think I bought like maybe 3 or 4 CDs after that, and it was just like I stayed listening to his stuff. I mean, I guess really, I actually miss people actually telling a story when they rap. Nowadays, it's nothing for you to grasp you know, and maybe that's why and maybe that's why music goes so fast now, because it's like it's almost like a trend, just like, you know, like stuff on Facebook. Like you might see people doing a certain thing, like, you know, all the challenges they were doing on Facebook. Now it's, you know, it goes on to something else, and, you know, and it's like that with the music now. It's nothing to grasp onto. It's not a real good storytelling, you know, artists out there that's getting put on the radio. It seems like that's different now. They want the songs that last for a couple weeks or a month, and then they on to the next.
Yeah, and me meeting Nas and getting to talk to him last year, the CIAA weekend, it was different, because this is somebody that was my idol. My idol going up through this, and him telling me, like, he said, man, I hate to say it, he's like, but this is why I'm still doing music, because hip hop is dead, man. He's like, it's dead. He's like, it's driving me up the wall. And they're actually supposed to be going to New Jersey June 30th for the Art of Rap concert. And they got Jadakiss, DMX, Nas, Mobb Deep. They got all the original hip-hop guys from the 90s. And I was like, oh, my God, I got to go there. Because it just kills me to see that people, what they do, people out there are looking at hip-hop right now as it's making society worse because of what they're saying, which to some degree, it is true, because music is very influential.
Yeah.
I mean, I have a 7-year-old. He looks up to me on my music. Every time he meets new friends, first thing he says when we first moved to this new neighborhood, hey, guys, y'all know my dad's a rapper.
Oh, yeah.
First thing he said when he meets them, and I'm just like, great. I have all these kids running over when I pull up in the car. Hey, can you rap for us?
I mean, like, you know, and to tell you the truth, that's part of what keeps us going. Like, because my daughter, she says while she's at school, a lot of times, like during her downtime, she'll actually pull up my YouTube videos, and, you know, she was telling her friends that, you know, that I was her dad, and they didn't believe her. So, you know, it's like those are actually our biggest supporters, and that's you know, they actually keep us going.
Yeah, I mean, and if they look at us to see what we're doing, how we're doing it. Because growing up down, you know, anywhere right now, actually, I remember, I'll never forget the first, I went to go to my little sister's lunch one time when she was in elementary school. And it always stuck with me since that lady said that. Because my mom wasn't around, she was already passed away. And then my stepdad, well, their dad, my stepdad, he wasn't there. So I would go eat lunch with him. And the lady said, you know what? It's really nice to see somebody coming to see them and eat lunch with them and see how they're doing. Because if they don't get love at home, they're going to get love in the streets. And that's what's happening. There's too much love in the streets. Too many gang members trying to just pull in anybody off the street that looks lost.
Oh, yeah.
And
that's
if we don't watch after our kids, that's what's going to happen.
Oh, yeah.
So, I mean, doing something like this is, I would rather spend $40 on a studio session than $40 probably trying to help somebody do a drug deal or trying to get them, or let's go to the bar and waste this $40 just to feel good for one night. Exactly. When I would rather spend that $40 in the studio, that I might make the next best thing, and that's going to carry you on forever.
Exactly, and that'll create a life for you and your son, you know, and just being
the whole thing.
Yeah, and actually, you know what I'm saying, being able to have him see you make decisions to better your lives, and you going for your dream will actually inspire him to go for his dream and say, my daddy ain't never give up, you know, like, just, you know, like, I'm gonna work, you know what I'm saying, I'm always work for mine, I'm always make the right decisions because he always did right by me. And I think that's what we lack in the community, in the society nowadays is, you know, like, it's a lot of people that they don't stand up like they used to, like, you know, like when I was telling somebody, like, you know, like back in the days, you know, when you came across a young lady, you know, too young to be out doing something wrong, you know, a lot of times, girl, you better go on home, you know what I'm saying? If you knew her, you know what I'm saying, you made sure she got home. But nowadays, man, there's so many predators out here, man. It's society's they don't have the values that they used to have.
Yeah, they don't. And I honestly, I mean, I blame that on the government because they're too worried about taking our tax money and stuff like that and just instead of trying to just take all our tax money, they should be focusing on the new generations that are coming.
Yeah.
Because there's other countries out there that they get free health care. Europe, you get free college. Free college. My wife right now is struggling paying off. I just heard her balance. And since I've known her, we've been together for 4 years now, and she's been paying on her student loans every month, $400 or $500. She still has $25,000 to go.
Yeah.
Over a college degree that she can't use. And that's why, I stuck with music. I didn't go to college. I found my interest in music. Now, if I did go, I'd probably go for production,
Exactly.
But
and the same here, like I actually went to college for like computer engineering and all that stuff. But you know what I'm saying? I think if you actually work at what you're passionate about and look at it like, if you actually look at it like, okay, is this or nothing? I think you'll get something out of it. I think it's so many people that, excuse me, they let doubts come in and they be like, oh man, I gotta go and get this job. But nah, when you're back against the wall, you know what I'm saying? I think that you should actually stick to what you love, and that's where you'll get, and that's where you'll find your reward at. And you think about it. Think it like when you actually, and that's why it's so good to educate yourself, because once you educate yourself on some of the biggest businesses and the biggest, success stories and stuff like that, you'll see that these people had, issues. They might have lost their home or their car or something like that before they got, but they fought for what they believed in and they got it. But the thing about people nowadays, they don't want to go through anything. So I mean,
they just want to hand out, really.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? So if you give up, it's actually on you.
Yeah. That's like anytime I talk to a new artist, this is what they say. I ask them the first main question: Are you BMI certified? Are you registered Sound Exchange? What's that? Yeah. That's my first sign that they're not ready. They're not. And this new guy that I met, his name is Death Chip. He doesn't have any of that stuff, but he's willing to let me help him, and that's what it's all about. Because some of us are more experienced than others. I don't mind helping artists. That's one thing I always tell them, everybody. I don't mind helping artists, but you got to also remember at the same time, I'm an artist too. I can't drop everything just to help you out.
Yeah, exactly. But
if you have the patience and are willing to learn with me, that's even better.
Exactly. And
you have to have that stuff if you want to get paid. BDS spins and having your music copyrighted correctly. And there is people out there that do overcharge for this stuff. I know somebody that, I'm not going to say any names, but she's overcharging actually for her services to get them registered BMI and all that.
But that's something
when it's free.
Exactly. I was going to say that's actually something that you can do yourself. But see, I don't even blame people like that though, because think about it. Okay, like let's say you say you have a lot of artists coming to you, right, for different things. I wouldn't be mad at you if you were actually charging for your time, because your time is valuable, and you will be giving them something that could make them a lot more money than they're paying out. So, and that's just like the studio time. Of course somebody can say, hey, yeah, I could charge $10 an hour, but it's not really worth the time. I mean, if you actually want to pretty much put what you worth, you know what I'm saying? And I try to make sure I'm competitive as far as, what people can afford, because it's not all about the money, but I have to get paid for my time. But that's something that should make you, as a person that's paying something out, get serious. Like if I'm paying $40, for an hour doing anything, it's going to be serious. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't have just, you know what I'm saying? Like, because think about it. Let's say you're trying to do an album, you spending over $400,
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because I'm pretty sure you're going to be doing more than 10 hours in the studio. So it's like, if you don't treat your investment like a business, I don't blame you when you get upset and you want to stop. Because the thing about it is, if I don't do what I'm supposed to do when I get up in the morning, or first of all, if I don't get up in the morning and do what I'm supposed to do, I can't get mad when my music doesn't go anywhere. I can't get mad when people aren't going to my website, because nothing is gonna come to you, you know what I'm saying, from doing no work. Like if Walmart if Walmart locks the doors but it has the lights on and people can't get in, how much stuff you think they're gonna sell? No, you know what I'm saying? Exactly. You know what I'm saying? They open 24 hours a day, open, ready, you know what I'm saying? Lights bright, you know what I'm saying? They making sure it's clean in there. I mean, you have to treat everything like a business, even being a rapper. That's why you get so many artists that think being a rapper is like what they see on TV. They think they're gonna come in the studio so drunk they can't stand up, and you know what I'm saying, like just, you know what I'm saying, like a cup of lean, you know what I'm saying, like, man, like you know what I'm saying, like how much work do you think you're gonna get done like that? You know what I'm saying? On the video, yeah, you know what I'm saying, it's a look, you know what I'm saying, and certain people might be on their level in the studio, but you got to think about it, man. If you actually want to get your stuff done and you want to take it serious, you know what I'm saying, you don't have the type of money to you know what I'm saying, to waste 5 hours in the studio just to get one verse done. You know what I'm saying? They have a budget. You know what I'm saying? So you have to really just start thinking about things that make sense. You know? So, So
well, that's like with the artist I'm working with, Def Shit. Like I was telling you, I told him when I met him, because I don't know him. Yeah. And I was like, yo, you know, I'm charging for features now. I am. Because I've been places and I've done stuff that matters. Maybe not to everybody in Brunswick, but to me, I've been further than a lot of folks. So I charged them $60 for a feature. That's not bad.
That's not bad at all.
$60 for a feature, and he has to pay for studio time. And because you know how I work, I'll go in the studio, I'll drop a verse in 10 minutes.
Exactly.
And I'm done. You know, I can knock stuff out because I practice it so much, and I go over my material that when I go in, it's almost like it just comes right out of my head.
Exactly.
So,
and that's the way it is, because the thing about it is $60. That's the giveaway. You know what I'm saying? Because you got to think about it. You know, like, but at the same time, it helps you as well. And I understand being competitive, because I've been competitive for a while. A lot of people don't know, when I first started my studio, I was selling beats for $10. You know what I'm saying? Because it made me do so many beats, you know what I'm saying, that I had no choice but to get better. You know, like, so I mean, I'm not doing that now, but you know, but at a time, I mean, it was, you know, like, you selling $10 beats and people buying beats for $10. I mean, you got to keep going. You know, you got to, it's, you know, you can't just think you're gonna make 2 beats, because I mean, people were buying beats 5 at a time. So
yeah, and then you're like, where's the profit? After a while, you get sick of giving everything out for free when all you've done is put in.
Exactly. And with that being said, so what advice would you give, like, artists that's wanting to really take their music serious and take it to another level?
Well, I kind of wish I had somebody to tell me what I'm fixing to tell them, because, you know, over the years, I've wasted a lot of money.
Yeah.
I've wasted a lot of money. I can't even, I mean, it's not hundreds, thousands, thousands of dollars, and meeting scammers. You know, number one thing I definitely want to tell artists is do your research. Do research on everything. Even when somebody comes to approach you about, oh, I heard your music, you know, pay such and such money to get your music listened to and heard by A&R, and you don't even know the person, but in your mind, you work so hard for it that anything sounds good at the moment.
Oh, yeah.
And you jump on it, you know, and a lot of people, as far as they know, you know, I've met some scammers that I've wasted money on, that now I've networked so much, I'm my own plug.
Exactly.
So it's about research and network, like, and first time artist, you can do a mixtape. That's cool. But after that, mixtape means free. You need to focus not even on a whole album. You need to focus on a single, because that's what they're looking for right now. They're looking for people who have singles. Yes, have other music backed up behind it, just in case. You know, just in case if they say, oh, well, what else do they have? But, I mean, that's all it's about is a single. Make sure you have the exclusive rights. That way it's just you. Your profit is you.
Yeah.
Not splitting it with nobody else. And then make sure the quality is the best that you can get. I don't care how much you got to spend on the studio. At least you're not spending money multiple places, multiple times, and wasting it and wasting it and wasting it, and everything's free. You get that single, you get a public relations person behind it. Make sure it's a good public relations person. You might spend maybe between $500 to $1,000, but those are the people that put your music out there and talk about you. They know people that you don't.
Exactly.
And that's what helps you get out there. You know, I wish I would have had somebody to tell me all this stuff before, when I had the extra money to spend all the time. I wasn't, you know, I mean, I can't even explain how much other bills I have. I mean, everything's getting a little complicated, but I always find a way at the end of the day. And that's another thing, you know, make sure you have hustle. If you, and any artist listening right now, if you don't have a job, you have no source of income, either find you a job, create hustles, or quit.
Exactly.
That's it. And I'm going to be blunt about it. Because, I mean, if you're not, and then also make sure you reach out to people that are not your friends to listen to your music. Make sure you're not, you know, because they're going to lie to you. They're going to lie to you. And they're going to say, oh, yeah, your music's great, but then let a complete stranger hear it. You know how many artists come to me like, hey, I want your honest opinion, because they know I'm blunt. They know I just don't listen to any and everything, and I'll tell you if it's good or not.
Exactly.
And there's a few artists, you know, come out to me, and I was like, your track is shit. I'm going to be honest with you, because it just, one of them even sounded like he ripped it off of Future. And because everybody's like, even the name of his, I forgot the name of it, but it had something to do with Hendrix. And I said, great, everybody's on this Jimi Hendrix now. And I was like, be more creative, man. Like, one thing I can say about school taught us to be creative. And it seems like people have lost sight of that and just want to be copycats.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's why I'm CopyRyte.
Yeah.
Either get right or get lost.
True.
Don't copy.
Exactly. And you copyright because, you know what I'm saying, they can't steal it from you because you protect it, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah. And I'm protected by multiple things, not just legally, but even in my mind, like, let's say somebody can steal a few of my bars, guess what? I'm going to come back and make something even better.
Yeah.
And that's what I can't even explain how far I've come. I've come so far, and some days I do want to quit. I do, because it gets frustrating because I'm a man. Am I ever going to be found? But then at the end of the day, I finally realized something. It's not about the fame. I don't want the fame. They can keep the fame, because being on the inside of on the industry now, I realize that the people that are on the TV the most are the broken.
Oh yeah, I realized that a few years back.
Yeah. I mean, even hate to put him out there, but even Young Jeezy, you know, before this whole new album he dropped, he couldn't even afford his Boost mobile phone bill. And it all has to do with the record labels. You know, the artists. That's another thing. You know, if you ever get the chance to sit down with a label, take the distribution deal. Don't take the record label signing, because there's so many different fees that come with it. You got, for example, you have management. You got to pay management. Let's say they give you $100K forward bonus. They give you all your money up front. They're going to want you to use, let's say, Atlantic Records. You use Atlantic Records booking management. Then you use the regular management, which is separate from the booking management. Then you got to work with the stylist. You got to pay the stylist, but also you got to pay for the clothes.
Oh yeah.
Then you got to use their studio. Even already, and then you got to set up your tour and buy the places, rent out the places for your tour. Guess what? Your money's already gone, and that was in probably 2 months right there.
Exactly. And the thing about it is, you know, they're going to give you your money up front, so you're going to be in debt to the label pretty much, because the first thing you want to do is go out here and get a car, you know, be out here, you know what I'm saying, try to find you a place, probably be in a condo, you know what I'm saying, and you finance everything, so that's why a lot of artists lose everything. Oh,
yeah. I mean, look, who got this car recently repoed? Tiger? Wasn't it Tiger, I believe?
I don't even know.
He got all these cars. I don't even need nothing that nice. If I ever get to that point where, you know, I get this Ford advancement cash deal, I'm not going to buy anything crazy. I might even buy a Ford or a Honda, honestly.
Yeah, man, I'm telling you.
You know?
Yeah.
I mean, because,
buy me a
later
Charger
on,
or something. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Later on, let's say if I went ahead and got that Audi R8 I want. Let's say I got the Audi.
Yeah, that's like $200,000.
That maintenance. Yeah, they're up there. But guess what? That maintenance on it is going to be ridiculous. And then let's say I run out of money. I can't afford it.
Exactly.
I can't afford to get my car fixed. You know, so it's just all about thinking smart. You know, like I said, I wish, you know, a couple years back, I wish I had all this knowledge I have now.
I mean, well, now it's time to put it to use. I didn't mean to cut you off, though.
Yeah, you good. Yeah, I mean, it's just, I would rather pass it on to other artists and see them succeed. You know, and people are coming to me now because they realize I know what I'm talking about. And they're like, oh, well, you know, blah, blah, blah. And just like you said, you know, you're right. I've been charging for, you know, services because my time isn't free anymore. It used to be, but it's not. I have no time, no patience because I'm trying to be like everybody else. I'm trying to get there too.
And I understand that. And that's in the business world, you gotta respect that. You know what I'm saying? You have somebody with quality goods and services. You know, you have to be willing to pay them because when it's time for you to get paid, you expect to get paid. So it can't be one way. But where can everybody find you? I mean, what social media platforms are you on, and what's the best way for them to contact you?
Anything on social media, Instagram, Facebook like page, Twitter, everything is at The Real CopyRyte, which is CopyRyte. When you spell copyright, there's no space. Everybody tries to put a space. There's no space.
Yeah.
So it's everything at The Real CopyRyte.
Okay. And I will be putting the instrumentals that I do have for you behind this right here. That way, when they actually hear the songs, you know what I'm saying, they'll be familiarized with it. So, but it was a pleasure talking to you, man, and I'm definitely gonna be looking forward to your new stuff. Is there anything you want to add?
I'll be on the lookout. Definitely be on the lookout for the new project coming out, A Little White Lie, which is gonna be my last mixtape. I haven't dropped anything in 3 years, and I feel like it's that time again. And I already have. Go ahead and give you the exclusive on it. I'll have the meaning for it for you later. But the album I'm working on, Elbow Grease. I let that ponder a little bit. So.
Got better beats.